YouTube. Let's get into some more of the Tao Te Ching. All right, we on chapter 17. All right, thank you for those who have subscribed to my channel. I ask that you like, share, and subscribe. All right, hit that thumbs up button, hit that cash up app button, buy me a cup of coffee or some tea. Well, I really like coffee. Okay, but I do, one of my favorite drinks is I love that chai latte, iced chai latte from Starbucks. I love chai tea. All right, but I like that iced chai latte from Starbucks. All right, and check out my website, kenyattasintuition.com. Hit me up with any questions at kenyattasintuition@yahoo.com. Let's get through the Tao Te Ching, chapter 17. The best leaders are those the people hardly know exist. The next best is a leader who is loved and praised. Next comes the one who is feared. The worst one is the leader who is despised. If you do not trust the people, they will become untrustworthy. The best leaders value their words and use them sparingly. When the master has accomplished her task, the people say, "Amazing, we did it all by ourselves." Okay. Chapter 18. When the great Tao is abandoned, charity and righteousness appear. When intellectualism arises, hypocrisy is close behind. When there is strife in the family unit, people talk about brotherly love. When the country falls into chaos, politicians talk about patriotism. Okay, let's pay attention to that right now. Okay, let me read that again. When the great Tao is abandoned, the Tao, from which all things originate. Okay, charity and righteousness appear. Okay, in other words, it's kind of like not needed when the Tao is not abandoned. Okay, when intellectualism arises, hypocrisy is close behind. Get done, put an end to your troubles with all that knowledge. You don't need it. When there is strife in the family unit, people talk about brotherly love. If there's no strife, there's no need to talk about it. There's no concept of it. It just is. When the country falls into chaos, politicians talk about patriotism. It's the same thing. Okay? Chapter 19. Forget about knowledge and wisdom. Remember Taoism, y'all go check it out. All right, if you haven't, forget about knowledge and wisdom, and people will be 100 times better off. Throw away charity and righteousness, and people will return to brotherly love. Okay? Throw away profit and greed, and there won't be any thieves. These three are superficial and aren't enough to keep us at the center of the circle, so we must also embrace simplicity, put others first, desire little. Okay. Forget about knowledge and wisdom, and people will be 100 times better off. You don't need it. This is from the Taoist perspective, from Taoism. Put an end to your troubles. Live simply. Do what is natural to you. And just be. Throw away charity and righteousness, and people will return to brotherly love. When there is no brotherly love, just as the other one, just as we saw here in chapter 18, when there is no, when there is strife, in other words, in the family unit, people talk about brotherly love. When there's no strife, there's no concept of it, just is. Okay, when strife comes, remember, okay, when strife comes, then the concept of brotherly love comes. Okay, when chaos ensues, then there's a concept of the patriotism. Okay, if you don't have these issues, then there's no concept of it. There's no need for a concept of it. There's no need for the idea of charity and righteousness. Okay, when, it's only needed when there's strife. Throw away profit and greed, and there won't be any thieves. Okay. All right. These three are superficial and aren't enough to keep us at the center of the circle, so we must also embrace simplicity, simple living, the natural way. the Taoist way, the Tao. Put others first. Desire little, okay? That is a constant theme. Where does suffering come from? Desire. It is a constant theme, okay, in these religious studies, all right? Chapter 20. Renounce knowledge and your problems will end. There it is again. Renounce knowledge and your problems will end. What is the difference between yes and no? What is the difference between good and evil? Must you fear what others fear? Nonsense. Look how far you have missed the mark. Other people are joyous as though they were at a spring festival. I am alone and unconcerned and expressionless like an infant before it has learned to smile. Other people have more than they need. I alone seem to possess nothing. I am lost and drift about with no place to go. I am like a fool. My mind is in chaos. Ordinary people are bright. I alone am dark. Ordinary people are clever. I alone am dull. Ordinary people seem discriminating. I alone am muddled and confused. I drift on the waves on the ocean, blown at the mercy of the wind. Other people have their goals. I alone am dull and uncouth. I am different from ordinary people. I nurse from the great mother's breasts. Okay, this is the story that we went over. It was a little different, but we went over it in Taoism, all right? All right, let me see it again. Renounce knowledge and your problems will end. Just live. Don't be looking for all that knowledge. You get all that knowledge, just like I said, it's a scripture in the Bible, okay? Forever searching. Forever, people searching for knowledge, forever searching, and never coming to the truth. You'll never find it, but searching. Knowledge. What is the difference between yes and no? Okay, and then we're talking about these things here. Remember the yin and yang, opposite but complementary. So what's the difference? It's no difference. Okay, because what in that yin and yang and symbol, as we went over before, what do you have? Okay, you have the dark and the light, and a little bit of light and darkness, and a little bit of darkness and light. And as it turns, the light becomes dark and the dark becomes the light. Okay, complementary, opposite but complementary, same thing. It's the same thing. What is the difference between yes and no? What is the difference between good and evil? Must you fear what others fear? I love that. I don't want to mark my look in this book right here. I like this book. I like all my books, but I really like that. Must you fear what others fear? Why are you taking on other people's fears? It's theirs. Nonsense. Look how far you have missed the mark. Other people are joyous as though they were at a spring festival. I alone. Have you ever felt this way? You know what I mean? You looking around at other people and you just may feel like, you just don't feel what they feel, but maybe you begin to feel, well, what's wrong with me? Why don't I feel what they feel? Why don't I, what does he say at the end? Well, he just accepted it. Sometimes we don't. And we are in constant, fear of something must be wrong with me. I have to be included. I have to be like others. Must you fear what others fear? Okay. Other people are joyous as though they were at a spring festival. I alone am unconcerned and expressionless like an infant before it has learned to smile. He's not picking up what they're picking up. You don't feel what they feel. Other people have more than they need. I alone seem to possess nothing. I am lost and drift about with no place to go. Have you ever felt like that? You've heard people talking about my purpose, my this, my that, and the other. I don't know what to do with myself. Just here, drifting. And it ain't, in our society, we kind of look down on that. That's negative. That's a quote unquote bad thing. There's something wrong with you. You need to figure yourself out. Okay. Not here. Not from the Taoist perspective. Just be. I am like a fool. My mind is in chaos. Ordinary people are bright. I alone am dark. Ordinary people are clever. I alone am dull. Ordinary people seem discriminating. And when we say ordinary, we're not looking at ordinary that we typically do here, like it's, you're just plain. That's not what's being said. Other people, okay? These people, they're ordinary to, they fit into them, to their group, to their collective. Ordinary people seem discriminating. I alone am muddled and confused. See, I'm not like them. I'm not bright. I don't have that brightness. I'm not quite as clever as them, or I'm not clever. I'm just kind of dull. I'm just kind of here. I alone am muddled and confused. Yeah, I admit it. I'm confused. I don't understand what it is they understand or what it is they see and whatever knowledge they seem to have. I drift on the waters of the ocean. Okay. I'm just drifting. Blown away at the mercy of the wind. Okay, there's some scripture about that, but it's a little, it does speak to it like it's not a very positive thing here. Okay, so we do have some differentiation here. Other people have their goals. I alone am dull and uncouth. I don't have no goals. Okay, I'm just drifting. This is what he's saying. I'm just drifting, y'all. I'm just here. I don't have all the knowledge. I don't have all the answers. No, I don't always know. Other people do. I'm just plain. Okay? I am different from ordinary people. I nurse from the great mother's breast, but I'm all right. Like it says in another book, I am nourished by the great mother. I nurse from the great mother's breast. Here he has accepted his plight, who he is. I am different. Different. And I don't see that as a bad thing, a negative thing. I'm just different. It just is. This is just who I am. I nurse from the great mother's breasts. I am nourished by the great mother. All right. We will move on to the next 4. Y'all be blessed. Peace.